Following a process lasting several years, Army Staff Sergeant Timothy Kramer received the keys to a new, specially adapted home during a ceremony Saturday at Minutair High School. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News, powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, a large crowd of well-wishers, volunteers, first responders, and Air Force ROTC cadets from Scottsbluff High School were on hand to help celebrate our home for our troops, and several local dignitaries welcomed Sergeant Timothy Kramer and his family to their new home, which is located a few miles north of Minutair. Kramer took the microphone telling his story and just how the specially modified house will help play an even bigger role in the daily activities of his family, especially having all rooms on a single level.
That little bit could be a lot of me falling on my face into a wall, stuff like that. And that the automatic doors, because when you're wheeling one of these things, you don't have too many free hands. And when you're with a cane, you don't have too many free hands either. So to reach up and hit a button or just pass something on the wall and the door will open, that I'm so looking forward to that.
He also plans on paying it forward with other veterans facing similar challenges.
And showing them that you still can go out and fish, you can still go out and hunt, you can do all the fun things. Just takes a little bit more time, a little bit more patience. So that's kind of my goal that I want to do. Is because to me, nature is God's beauty. If you can get out in that only reduces your stress that much more.
The home was the first such custom house built by HFOT in Nebraska and features more than 40 major special adaptations. HFOT officials say one final volunteer event will take place in late spring for the laying of sod in the yard. Well, District 48 Senator Brian Hardin says the current filibuster being conducted primarily by Omaha Senator Michaela Cavanaugh is part of the legislative process, but he does not think it's likely to last. During his most recent Roles and Issues session, sponsored by the Scottsbluff-Gehring Chamber, the Gehring lawmaker says it's a team sport and very hard to sustain.
Not only waste time for the conservatives, but frankly, it wastes time for the progressives. They don't get to have their bills listened to either. And I can promise you that what's happening behind the scenes right now is that they are turning on one another. The Democrats are starting to cannibalize the other Democrats because their priority bills and other things are not going to get the opportunity to be heard. They're not happy about that.
Hardin says it doesn't do conservative lawmakers any good to engage the filibuster on the floor, as it wastes even more time. He says it's best to let such efforts die organically, not only from fractures among their group, but also as they face pressure from constituents in their own districts. We'll have more news right after this.
Swipe right, swipe left, endlessly searching. Finding the perfect match isn't always perfect, but it can be when it comes to finances. Nora found the perfect business loan. Jenny opened her first savings account. Grammy loves her checking account. We found a match for Wilson Farms. The Sandersons were matched with a mortgage. Regardless of your financial situation, Platte Valley Bank will match you with the perfect solution. Find your match at Platte Valley Bank.
To sum up the past 20 years in one word, exceptional. It's one of our core values. But our people have been truly exceptional. Our customer support has been exceptional. In 20 years, where will Allo be? When we started, we were just a business fiber company. then the demand came from residential. Now the products of both business and residential just continue to expand. We've got to start with customers' needs and always work backwards. The customers will tell us, and our teammates will take us there.
Welcome back. Troopers with the Nebraska State Patrol have arrested 2 men after locating more than 100 pounds of suspected marijuana during a traffic stop on I-80 in Kimball County. On Thursday, a trooper pulled over a Chrysler 300 for speeding near Kimball at mile marker 18, and during this stop detected the odor of marijuana. A search of the vehicle revealed numerous bags of suspected marijuana contained in duffel bags in the trunk of the vehicle, with a total weight of approximately 120 pounds. The driver, 42-year-old Daniel Ledbetter of Atlantic City, New Jersey, and 48-year-old passenger Keith Wyatt of Sacramento, California, were arrested for possession of marijuana more than 1 pound and possession with intent to distribute. Well, Cheyenne Frontier Days announced the 2023 Frontier Nights Entertainment Series last week, with headliners including Eric Church, Zach Bryan, Tim McGraw, John Party, Cody Johnson, and Five Finger Death Punch. The Professional Bull Riders will return with its Team Series event, and the 127th Daddy of Them All will feature 9 days of PRCA professional rodeo. Concert tickets will be online-only sales starting at 9 a.m. on March 15th. And a Scottsbluff woman who failed to appear for sentencing last month for trying to steal a car is back in custody. 32-year-old Jennifer Radomski had pleaded no contest to a charge of attempted theft by taking between $1,500 and $5,000 and was scheduled to be sentenced on the charge before District Judge Andrea Miller on February 23rd. However, Radomski failed to appear for sentencing, and a bench warrant for her arrest was issued. Court records show she was taken back into custody on Friday afternoon and will likely be back in court later this month to finally be sentenced.
Are you looking for the perfect place to hold a wedding, family reunion, holiday office party, or business meeting? Well, look no further. The Hampton Inn and Suites Hotel and Conference Center is just the place for you. We're a full-service banquet facility that can host up to 400 of your guests. Stop in and see our spacious open-concept meeting rooms and begin planning your special event or family gathering today. Let us do the work for you so you can enjoy your guests. For personal service, stop by the Hampton Inn and Suites front desk.
Culture trumps everything else.
In my years, I've never worked for a company that treats people the way this one does.
It is my passion for agriculture that brought me here in the first place, but not only that, there's a huge family-oriented atmosphere within the 21st Century Equipment.
I love working for 21st. They found something in me that I didn't know in myself. An intern to where I'm at now is such a great opportunity, and that is what this company is about.
Now, sports from the FNBO Sports Desk. FNBO, the great big small bank.
Glad to be back in town, even if just for a couple of days. A long week on the road of basketball coverage, including the girls' state tournament that wrapped up on Saturday afternoon. Lincoln Northwest High School, not the place Bridgeport had in mind for Saturday action, but after the overtime loss to Adams Central on Friday, it was a third-place game for the Bulldogs. All things considered, a pretty game effort. Down by 7 after 3 quarters. They outscored Malcolm 28-9 in the fourth to pick up the double-digit win. Bridgeport finishes the year at 26-1. Ruthie Loomis Girdle goes out the second all-time leading scorer in girls history in the Panhandle, trailing only Jordan Hooper of Alliance by 4 points. She finished with 18, 18, and 12 in the 3 games in Lincoln. Also at the girls' state tournament, it was Sidney earning their first win at state since 1984 as they knocked off Beatrice in round 1. Scottsbluff just couldn't muster any sort of offense, nothing going or working against York in that first round loss to the Dukes. Elkhorn North went on to win Class B for a 3rd straight season, and Layton dropped their first round game to eventual state champion Falls City Sacred Heart. Well, the boys' state tournament is coming up this Wednesday through Saturday. We'll have the Scottsbluff Bearcats throughout their run. Coverage on 107.3 The Trail, the stream online. They'll open against York as well. That'll be Thursday night in the late game at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Other teams from the region making state tourney appearances are Sidney in C1 along with Ogallala. They're the 2 seed in that C1 bracket. Those two would play in round 2 if both win their openers. You've also got Gordon Rushville in the C2 bracket coming up this week. And for WNCC from the weekend, a pair of free throws in the clutch in the final second for Biko Johnson. That was sending WNCC through in Region 9 postseason play, 87-86 over North Platte. The Cougar men heading to Casper now for the quarterfinals of the Region 9 tournament. That'll be on Thursday. Cougar softball, they dropped all 4 games at Highland in Kansas, while the baseball team fell in a doubleheader yesterday to Otero. Same 2 teams there as those two wrap up that 3-game series a bit later on today. That is the latest from right here at the FNBO Sports Desk. I'm Chris Cottrell.
The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. Community strong with the people you know and trust.
Fly United Airlines, operated by SkyWest with Western Nebraska Regional Airport. United is dedicated to going the extra mile for you with daily flights to and from Denver, along with a commitment to excellent service. Reserve your flight today, and remember, United miles can be earned and redeemed with your flights. While at the airport, stop and enjoy authentic Italian food at Roma Italian Restaurant. Plus, Hertz Thrifty Car Rental is there for your car rental needs. Make life easier, relax, and get on board with Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you plan for tomorrow while you enjoy today. Our personalized trust services can help you do just that. You've worked hard to build your legacy, and you want to make sure that gets passed on for generations to come. We offer the professional guidance necessary to ensure that happens, according to your wishes. We pride ourselves in being friendly and professional while offering a highly tailored, full line of trust and estate planning services to accommodate you. You belong here.
And finally, tonight, for the first time since 2007, the League of Nebraska Municipalities has awarded their Distinguished Service Award. And for the very first time, it is not a state senator. They've announced that Scottsbluff Police Chief and City Manager Kevin Spencer has been recognized for exceptional leadership, dedication, and advocacy, resulting in the passage of Legislative Bills 1014 and 1241 during last legislative session. League officials say the two bills that Spencer was instrumental in getting passed have been making transformational improvements in training facilities and laws greatly benefiting law enforcement agencies throughout the state. Spencer was also a key partner in helping develop and pass other important bills for law enforcement, leading former Governor Pete Ricketts to refer to the 2022 session as the year for law enforcement. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there. We'll see you here next time.